Welcome back. You're watching NBAA TV. I'm Amy Sweezy, and my next guest is the president of 4Air. I'm here with Kennedy Ricci. Kennedy, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So your company's been around for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you do?
So when we started looking at trying to be sustainable within aviation, there's no one easy way to do it. There's a few different pillars of options out there, using carbon offsets, bringing in sustainable aviation fuel, new technology partnerships, but it's a lot of work. And to do it well, it takes a lot of effort behind it. So we launched 4Air with the goal of making sustainability more accessible to operators. So we work with them to build out these programs, look at where they're flying, how they're flying, what they're flying, bring in sustainability as part of their operation, and look at opportunities to uplift sustainable aviation fuel and build out a plan for how they can decarbonize their operations.
And do you feel like when you come to them with your ideas, they're just completely like, whoa, I didn't know this? Or you feel like they're already like, I want to make a difference?
Yeah. Most people are somewhere along their sustainability journey. We've got people who are saying, this will never be an issue. I am not worried. To people who are really pushing the bar in terms of what I think we see out there. We've got some corporate flight departments that are already setting commitments around 10% SAF usage this year, and even some smaller groups that are doing 100% SAF only. So we really see some leading initiatives, leading groups out there. So it's really such a spectrum. And so our goal is to help everyone kind of find where they are and move forward along it.
And your company, 4Air, is a co-sponsor of the Business Aviation Sustainability Summit, which is happening here at Base.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit why that's so important.
Yeah, it's always about the education. So we've done a very good job, I think, as an industry, making initial steps. So people are starting to make better commitments around it. 3 years ago, SAF wasn't really an option for an operator. Now we're using enough that I think demand has kind of met supply, what's out there. So it's pushing more on the supply side, moving things forward. But we have to get past this kind of initial, beach hold. We got to move forward past kind of the first percent to the next 10% and thereafter. So things like this help with that education, help get to more operators, more individuals to understand why this is important, and help educate what those other solutions are going to be.
And there are several sessions going on throughout Base this week, right?
Yeah, it's a 2-day event covering all different topics from SAF, new technology, kind of book and claim transactions around SAF. And so a lot of different topics being covered in the summit.
Okay. So partnering obviously with NBAA is important. I feel like partnerships, success really depends on partnerships, right? You can't just do this by yourself.
Right. It's really important that this is seen as kind of an industry initiative, because if we have a few operators that are very sustainable, we still have to work to show the message that the industry is working towards it. So I think what NBAA is doing, EBAA, their messaging is really important to tell people outside of the industry, here's what we're doing. We always try to tell that I think business aviation has an opportunity to help lead commercial aviation and lead other industries too. SAF has applications for commercial aviation, obviously, but even in producing other fuels for marine, for the marine industry, for the road industry. So we don't really talk about that leadership opportunity as much. And I think that's what we need to do, but it's got to be at an industry level. So partnerships with NBAA, one, help us address, the opportunity to educate in the industry and then tell that story better outside of it.
And 4Air has a booth set up here at Base.
Yes, we do. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Where are you located?
We're right nearby, I think, N12215.
In the North Hall?
Yes.
Okay, so people can stop by. And then outside of what you're doing here at Base this week, what are some of the other initiatives that you're taking?
Yeah, so we've been very busy. There's a lot moving on sustainability than there used to be. And there's so many events now that we look at. But some of the big efforts are, one, looking at the company regulation. So there's more initiatives that are actually outside of aviation, but that are going to impact aviation operators. Things like what the SEC is looking at, California and EU has more requirements as well. So we're looking at helping people better understand that, stay on top of it. We're looking at things around contrails to help people be more sustainably minded in their operations, and then really focus on how you get SAF more, because that's a key pillar for us. So a lot, it's been very busy for us over at 4Air, but a lot to come as well.
And your website, how can people find you online?
www.4air.aero.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Kennedy, Ricci, we appreciate you being here and
Thank you
chatting with us about sustainability. And thank you for being a co-sponsor.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. We have so much more to come here on NBAA TV.